Hey everybody, welcome back to the Booshakalakapodcast. We are here for just a little quick special episode. I don't know how quick it's going to be because these people like to talk about our top 5 vampires slash vampiric properties. I'm your host, Tiffany, your co-host, Pierre.
What it do, sleeves hanging with the people. I'm doing in the teacher when I follow but the teacher. What the fuck is this?
I wanted to do the Buffy theme song, but I couldn't think
There's
of it.
words to that?
I didn't know there was a theme song.
There's a Buffy movie, the movie that was like go 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 Buffy. It was like that.
Yeah. Are you serious?
I don't
remember when
that.
she was like, yeah, they was dancing, they was doing the cheerleading and all that. But yeah.
Wow. Anywho, well, we're here to just talk about our top 5 vampire properties. I guess we can go back and forth. We'll start at 5.
Ooh, number 1.
Sorry, 5? We're doing. Are we ranking them?
Ooh, that's harder.
On the low. Okay.
And this is gonna be interesting because Tiffany does not like vampire stuff. So I'm about
to. But I did my homework. I'm ready.
Oh, Zooey, what Zooey saying?
Well, then I guess I'll go ahead and start.
Well, stop, Bobby.
Number 5 for me is going to be Blacula.
Okay.
Might not be a movie you haven't seen, but Blacula, and the reason why I like Blacula is because he has a self-reflection moment.
I thought you were going to say because he's black.
That too. In the movie, he is, of course, resurrected as a vampire, and he meets a woman that he thinks is his old love from back in the day. And he wants to be with her, and he finds out that, well, eventually she is killed. And he kills himself, so it's like Romeo and Juliet style, because if he can't be with her, he doesn't want to be with anybody. So Blacula would be my top 5. My
okay.
5th favorite.
Your 5th favorite.
Vampire
number
property.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Okay.
Jay?
Me?
Yeah.
Number 5 for me, I would say, is the Anne Rice vampires. Right?
Okay.
They're good. I think the lore is vast. I think it's very interesting, but it leans a little too much into the romance for me and not enough of the horror. If that makes any sense.
It doesn't, but okay.
As I've started to watch the current Interview with a Vampire series, which is night and day much better than the Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise stuff. Yeah, it's on point, but it's just way too romantic, and I don't find it scary, but I do find it interesting, and I do like the world building. So it's a number 5 for me.
It's the most toxic relationships in the world. So if I was gonna do a number 5, my number 5, if we're talking lowest of the low, would be the Underworld Vampires.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
Because they're interesting, but it seems like it's like kind of like Blade, where they're just the idea that just they're all evil. I'm just like, like I get it, but I just don't like that aspect.
Yeah. Right. Do you like the do you appreciate the because that's also not in a lot of like the vampire properties, the whole like war between wolves and vampires?
That's what I like about it. So that's why I like that about it, because it's like it's very rare where you have a bunch of different species and they're all mythical, but they're all fighting. So yeah.
I love it when a vampire property shares a space with another supernatural being in it,
because it's just unrealistic that vampires are real, but that's the only thing that's real. That's
exactly unrealistic. Yeah, exactly.
Freddy versus Jason. So my number 4.
Man, this is a positive podcast.
You guys are gonna hate this. You're gonna hate it. Number 4 for me for favorite vampire would be
Do I know you?
From Bordello of Blood.
Holy shit! Is that a property, or is that?
I don't know what that was. What is that?
A one-up?
That's not what I thought you were
going to say. Tales from the Crypt anthology.
It's a Tales from the Crypt movie. No, it's not an anthology. It's not an episode. It is actual movie. So the Tales from the kind of like in the vein of Demon Knight, you know, they had like these little separate entities, but in that movie I think it's very funny. It has a comedic take. The vampires in there have double fangs, which is something that we normally do not see vampires. And I mean, it's got a lot of titties in it. What can you hate about Bordello of Blood? Number 4 for me. Jay?
Yeah, Bordello of Blood was definitely like some Dust Till Dawn type shit. Like,
I like
but okay.
But this is what I like.
Whoa, so, hey. You hated it. The number 4 Jay is the Blade Vampires.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn. I like to refer to these vampires as high society vampires because they are running shit. They've got blood banks. They've got blood raves. They are just killing it. But these vampires are scary as shit. Like, they look at human beings as just sheep. And Blade is just a one-man army just ready to take them all out. I think they look good. I think they're scary. I think they're powerful. And I think they got a pretty good grasp on how to do this vampire shit out in society. Like, hey, we can do this shit, but we're not going to be like these feral creatures or whatever. So, yeah, the Blade Vampires for me.
Well, for my number 4, I am going to choose the Van Helsing Vampires. Because they have the aspect that we didn't have from the Lost Boys. They were turning into bats, and you know, they had the cool little transformations. It's just a really well done movie, honestly. I'm surprised it was so well done because it had so much lore in it, like the Frankenstein and the werewolf and the vampire. And it was just a lot. So I really did, yeah. So I think those vampires are really cool. They still held to the lore of the whole Mare's thing. I thought that scene was amazing when she realizes that the whole room is full of vampires. Like, it was good. It was good. So yeah, Van Helsing.
All right, really number 3 for me would definitely be. So I feel like we're kind of doing it a little differently. You guys are doing lore. I'm doing specific vampires, but whatever, same thing. Number 3, even though I don't know the character's name, but whatever Chris Sarandon's vampire character was in Fright Night. That's definitely number 3 for me. It was sexy. I don't know why he was obsessed with Marcy Darcy. It had the comedy element.
What's his name? Jerry Dandridge or something?
Something like that. Sure, let's go with it. But I really enjoyed that. It was funny. He was hot. The music was hot. And I like the storyline. Charlie should have got his ass kicked just a little bit more. But yeah, I would definitely say Fright Night. So Jerry Dandridge, whatever his name was.
Never saw that. I haven't seen that.
You don't watch the Colin Farrell one.
Watch the Colin Farrell one. It's good. They're both good.
80s.
They're both good. So number 3.
I love how he just completely
number 3 for me, because you know I'm gonna keep this positive.
Oh God. Oh. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Do it slowly.
I don't like that. Hey, stop talking like that.
I don't know. I'm not. I'm
number
just
3. Number 3, nigga. Number 3.
It might be bad. It might be bad, Tiffany.
The originals / Vampire Diaries vampires.
Fuck you.
Great. I mean,
is that one universe?
That's one universe.
Yeah.
It is one universe. It is one universe. But they kind of handle things. I would say originals is a little bit more darker.
Yeah,
it's a little
definitely
bit more violent, than the Vampire Diaries, but they are in the same universe. I just think these vampires are just fucking badass or whatever. They all look fucking amazing. Like, let's just get that out of the way. But it's the pro and the con. They lean a little bit heavy into like the witchcraft more than any other vampire property that I've seen or whatever. Like heavy reliant on witchcraft and sorcery and stuff like that. But I think their skill sets, their powers, their lore, it's all really cool and unique. using like little runes and like rings and shit to like just walk around in daylight. I love that. That was first teased for me in I want to say like Angel and Buffy. There was like an episode or a little arc about like just what would happen if a witch like made some magical amulet or whatever, and you just walk around daylight. But yeah, so they just do like cool little neat shit like that all throughout the originals of Vampire Diaries. So that's my number 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm next. My number 3 will be the Twilight Vampires. I like the fact that when they turn, besides the sparkly bullshit, I like the fact when they turn, they each get a power, and the power usually has something to do with how they were before they were humans. So like Bella, she was very guarded and she was very like, emotionally distant. So then she gets her shield. I like that. It was just, I thought that was a very cool aspect. That they had specific powers, when you turn. I thought that that's really the coolest thing about them, honestly. I like their eyes, and that's about it. But yeah, I just thought that was cool. I thought they had very cool, interesting lore, and they're like strong, they're fast. Yeah. So
yeah.
Great. So number 2 for me would be Nosferatu, specifically on an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark called The Tale of Midnight Madness.
Was that the one in the hospital?
No, that was one in the movie theater.
Okay, that was scary. I didn't like that.
Movie. Yes,
that was scary.
It traumatized me as a kid. Like the story is Dr. Veek comes into a failing movie theater and he's trying to help basically save the theater, and he gives them a copy of Nosferatu and he says, play this movie and it'll bring the crowd, and he plays the movie. The movie is just like the regular Nosferatu, ends with him coming over the person about to bite him, still looking scary and everything, and it brings in the crowd, and basically the more people that come in and something about their fear, it has the Nosferatu actually comes alive and he's able to come out of the movie, and he comes out of the movie screen and he attacks the kids in there. It is something that has stuck with me for a very long time. I was a huge fan of Are You Afraid of the Dark as a kid, and I actually went down a rabbit hole. All of the episodes are on YouTube. I've watched all of them most recently, and that one definitely stuck out to me. So I felt that
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I felt I had to include it on my list, and that is why it's my number 2.
Send me that link.
Sure. Of that episode?
No, just like the fact, episodes in general, because I really want to revisit that terrifying ass show.
It was so scary.
That's why I was on Snick.
Did they remake Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
They created like a it's kind of like a spin-off. So it was like 3-hour, 30-minute episodes. It was actually pretty good. The first one, they had a sequel. I didn't watch the second one for some reason. I think the first episode just didn't kind of pull me in, but the first one was something about a traveling fair. It was decent. I enjoyed it. But I maybe I should go back and try the second one again. But yeah,
I want to revisit the original Are You Afraid to, because that was like legit scary.
Check your texts.
It was definitely scary as hell.
Okay.
I was scared. Like there was one episode where like it was like this ghost.
I know it.
Yeah, it was like this ghost girl across the street, and she was like she was just trapped in the house. And basically the story was these kids like chased her into the house and they locked the door, but like her mom was out of town, but she was supposed to go visit the grandmother. It was like, she was behind the mirror. I don't know. You got to go watch that. It was so sad. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm confused.
Yeah, it was very sad. Like they locked her in and her grandmother didn't know where she was. So she just ended up dying in the room. And it was just, I was like,
it was some shit episodes.
It was some deep ass shit. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they had a lot of Black Canadians up there talking about sorry. So yeah, definitely my favorite.
All right.
But all right, Jay, number 2 for you?
Number 2, The Lost Boys.
Okay.
We just did an episode on this.
Of course.
Yes.
Let's lose Jay. I mean, what can I say? I mean, I won't rehash it too much, but they nailed it. They nailed it straight to the point. No funny business. These vampires are great. They look good. They were scary. They were violent. They had an established lore within like an hour and some change movie. Like this is just vampires done right. It's flawless in my personal opinion.
Like a D cup in your mouth. Yeah.
You can do your number 2.
So my number 2 is actually going to be the originals. The lore is just perfect. Like the fact that witches made them, the fact that they cannot be killed. Like the strongest vampires, thousands of years old. Like it was just beautiful.
They can't be killed. How do they get characters off the show?
They can be killed.
They can be killed. They can't be killed by traditional means. They say it. That's literally what they say throughout the entire show. I'm an original. I cannot be killed. But there are loopholes. Like they can be killed.
So wait a second. Just for clarity, are you saying the originals are your favorites, or are you saying the show universe?
The originals are my favorites. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the originals are my favorites. So
you're speaking. So everybody doesn't know. Specifically, there are a family within the show. These are the very first vampires. They do have regular vampires in the show that can get got.
Yeah, they are ass.
The originals in the show, you got to do a little bit more to take them down.
Yeah, they can't be killed by the regular means. So yeah,
cool. Yeah. Number 1 for me, already listed. Of course, it's going to be Blade, and duh. Okay. It's a black ass vampire killing people, and some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. You can't get any better than that.
Okay. Thank you for saying it. Thank you for saying it.
You know that was, I don't even think that was in the script. He just made that shit up. Does it make sense? No. Is it amazing?
Yes, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Always bet on black. Number 1.
Okay. Number 1. This is God tier. S tier if you're a Capcom video game fan. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel. This is vampires just perfected. The storylines, the characters. We're not just dealing with vampires, baby. We're dealing with demons. We're dealing with werewolves. We're dealing with witches. We're dealing with vampires with souls that lose their souls when they have sex. This shit is out of this world.
Oh, that was going on Buffy?
Yes.
I tuned out after episode 3.
I never watched one episode, so yeah.
Please. Oh, man,
it was huge. It was huge when the first episode was coming out. It was everywhere. I was like, yeah, and I started watching. What the fuck is this?
Sarah Michelle Gellar, aka Buffy Summers, she stepped into this role fresh off of I Know What You Did Last Summer, fresh off of a little cameo appearance in Scream 2. Like, you know what? This was crazy times.
I think that's why I didn't like it. Because they were definitely not the same character.
No, she's good. She's good.
That's why I didn't like it.
She's good.
They're not.
Yeah.
I don't deny it. It was. I'm sure. I know it was good. I just didn't watch it.
The thing about Buffy, the vampires in Buffy, though, that it was funny, and they kind of like. That's the thing about Buffy. It can be a satire at times too, and they'll even poke fun at themselves. Later on in the seasons, they had like a little therapy session for Buffy where she was just kind of hanging out in the crypt waiting for like a vampire to like become undead and rise out the grave and all that jazz. The vampire was like, wait a second, I just know how to do martial arts. That's a thing, because all of the fight scenes, all these vampires, you could just be Joe Schmo, but you are like a fucking black belt in jujitsu as soon as you become a vampire. They would just do like little funny winking you nod type stuff like that. Very well written. Storylines are great. They had big bads for each season. It was great. I'm a big fan of Buffy and Angel. So that's my number 1.
I do respect the fact that it's good. I think the main thing with Buffy was it wasn't like Charmed where you could hop on TNT and there were reruns, like, and you could watch it from the beginning. Like Buffy was just going. So it was like I could never even start. Like I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know these people. I like Willow. I don't like. It's just a lot going on. but I can never start from the beginning and go with it. It's like you either hop on or you just. I think that was the thing. They didn't have because Charmed TNT. You gonna watch it? They gonna hit you with the first episode eventually. So it was
Buffy
just
Angel Death had filler episodes, but again, I'm agreeing with you. You couldn't even some of the filler episodes. You're like, wait a second. You kind of need to know a little bit of backstory about this through line. What's going on right now? Because it would just be like chaos. But
because I think I did watch one episode. She had became invisible and she fucked the blind dude. That's all I remember. That's all.
That didn't happen, but that there was an invisible character that was in their monster of the week phase. That's like a big thing in like a lot of these like supernatural properties where the first season is like, oh, what monster or what creepy thing are we gonna fight this week? So, but yeah,
freak of the week. My number one.
Please be good.
It's gonna be Interview with the Vampires. They are the most tragic vampires in history. The lore is not slapstick. Like they see their reflections. Garlic doesn't hurt them. They don't care about crosses. They can go into church. Like it's not all that bullshit. You kill them with the sun or with fire. Like it's very like day and age like that way. And they're just amazing. Like I don't know, like they're just so cool and so deep. And like there's so much. She really needed an editor, but there's just so much that she put into these characters. They are beautiful. It's just it's perfect. I love it. Like
there's a lot of different themes in the Interview with a Vampire world. Like we're not just dealing with death, churches, and bloods and all that shit. We're dealing with like individuals discovering their sexual identity, this type of shit. Like they're not like I started watching the AMC joint and I'm like, all right, what they're talking about some heavy stuff in this show. Racism back in the day. What's it like being a black vampire or a mixed vampire? What's it like? I'm
mental health.
Mental health. I mean, I think he realized that he was attracted to like the opposite sex at one point. Like it's just a lot of different themes out here. So it's an interesting show. But again, it can dabble into the romance a lot. But great choice.
Have you finished it? Have you finished like season 1 and season 2?
I have not finished season 1. I'm getting there. I like Penguin and Lion. A bunch of random stuff has just been popping up. But and then they're doing some world building. There's a Mayfair witches in this world too. So I'm trying to like watch it in the correct order because I have like OCD and shit like that. So
Mayfair season 2 about to come out in January, so you need to get on it. But yeah.
That was fun.
That was good.
I have absolutely nothing in common with Pierre.
Oh, okay.
Not one thing. I had one with Jay, so I do see that Pierre has no black vampires.
Louis is black.
Louis black.
And
Louis black.
Yeah.
Marcel,
there are black vampires in all of my. There are black vampires in all of my stuff.
Quarter black.
The black people were werewolves in Underworld.
I'm just kidding. I feel like your numbers might change once that Michael B. Jordan vampire movie comes out. Sometime whenever it's supposed to come out. You know.
Hello, because we got that trailer came out too early because it better not be.
He thinks he can do anything.
Stop.
Are the vampires in I Am Legend? Are those vampires or are they just?
I thought they were zombies.
I always thought that was a vampire.
That's because they're cousins. They're cousins. They're cousins.
Okay.
They both bite people, typically in the neck. They're both undead. Yeah, they're cousins. When you really think about it, I mean, you have to bite. One has to bite you to turn you into one. Like it's they're cousins.
Okay.
Real quick draw. If you can think of off the top of the dome, just one. What is one of the worst vampire properties that you've ever seen? You're just like, this fucking sucks.
Let me go last.
Okay.
I think sucks is strong Can it just be like I didn't like it?
It can be I didn't like it. This is cringy, or this sucked. It can be
Day of the
anything.
Dead, the Day of the Dead ones. I didn't like them.
I don't know Day of the Dead.
It's like it's set in Alaska, so
you know 30 days, 30 nights.
No, it's like no, it's Day of the Dead. It's like in Alaska, so it's like they have that time where the sun doesn't come out, and they just go roughshod on this town. And they just like kill Ed.
That is the same literal concept of 30
Are you serious?
30 days, 30 nights, yeah, with Josh Hartnett. Yeah.
Hold up.
No, 30 days of night. You're thinking about 40 days and 40 nights.
When he's abstaining from sex.
Yeah. Great movie. But yeah, you're right. 30 days of night, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crap. The day or is it? It's not Dawn of the Dead. But it's like
those are Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Those are like George Romero zombie movies. You're thinking of 30 Days from Night. That's the legit Alaska.
Am I? Is something?
Yes, you are. You are. My pick for just like I fucking hate it is for vampires. I would say is the Twilight series. God awful. Vampires don't sparkle. Vampires do not go out into sunlight. I don't care if it's just a little dim or not. No, that is not allowed. It was too much. There was too. I don't mind like some lore breaking here and there, but it was just like consistent throughout that entire movie or whatever. So
it was more focused on the love story.
It was
and it wouldn't have. They wouldn't have. She wouldn't have been able to. It wouldn't have made sense if he couldn't go to school. You know what I mean? Even though they were in like Washington, where it wasn't
Seattle or something.
Yeah, where the sun wasn't out. She had to make it make sense. That's really the only reason why, honestly.
It wasn't for me. I love the meme where it's like Bella and Edward, but Blade is standing behind them, like he's about to kill them. But yeah, it'd be the Twilight series for me. Tiffany, it's on you.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
That was hilarious. I hate you. That movie was. Wow. I thought you were gonna put that on your list when you said Dracula. I was like, wow. That was funny as.
It's funny.
I don't know. Let me think. Like I really am trying to scour the internet right now. I was trying to figure out.
I'm kind of mad none of us said that we put some respect on the OG, the '90s Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I don't.
That was.
I thought that's not the one she said. She said Dracula.
No, she said Dracula Dead and Loving It with Liam Neeson, which was a spoof on the Bram Stoker's joint. There's some bad, like the
Dracula 3000, like
yeah, those get kind of bad. Dracula 2000,
Vampire in Brooklyn.
No,
damn it, I forgot all about that one.
That was good movie.
That was a good movie.
He was just terrible. We just like it because it's Eddie Murphy. Let's quit playing. And Angela Bassett.
No,
quit it.
The Caribbean.
I hated how old boy was
cool.
The old boy was just disintegrating. Oh my god.
Kenny Hardison.
Yes.
That was good. Another they did the ring
or
trick.
The Littlest Vampire that used to come on Disney Channel.
Oh,
Mom's got a date with a vampire.
Terrible. The My Little Vampire.
Any Disney vampire movies, Hotel Transylvania, like why are there 6 of those? Why is that still going on?
Yeah, those aren't.
I was so mad that I saw that there were so many. Like, what more can you tell? I thought the first one, or maybe which one was the one when they were talking about like the soulmate thing? Was that the first one?
I think that was the first one, and then they get married, and then they go on vacation, and they have kids. It's so many of them. Like, how are we still making Despicable Me's? What are we doing? But yeah, so that was a great chat about our top 5 vampires. I know it's almost dinner time and almost sleepy time for a lot of people. I enjoyed this. This was great. Yeah. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week for Thanksgiving. Bye.
Yes, we will. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.